Found a little spot here where there's a natural bird bath. I have a needle, I have a magnet, I have a compass, and I have a little boat. And today we're going to mess with a needle and a magnet and make our own compass. Check this out. So here's what we have. We have our bird bath, I have a compass set up, a tea candle, and some needles. Up here hanging from a string, I have two magnets that are suspended on a single thread. And this is also a compass. This is the easiest compass I think to make. And that's a thread and two magnets. It's the smallest compass. It's probably smaller than a button compass. But today we're going to make some needle compass. If we take a needle and we were to float it on a leaf or suspend it on a string, and it does have a north-south charge to it, it is a compass. We just have to suspend it freely so it'll orient to the axis of the earth and point north and south. I've tried several different things, and one of the easiest things is a tea candle bottom. This aluminum bottom makes an excellent little boat. If you've never tried this before, I encourage you to do this. It's a lot of fun. Kids love it. I'm a big kid and I love it. If I just drop the needle in there, let's just see which way this needle will naturally orient. This needle to me appears to not have a charge. It's charged neither north nor south. It's floating freely in there, basically without a north-south charge to it. Now let's compare that to another needle that I know has a charge. Let's pick this one. The wind's blowing our boat around a little bit, but we'll try to get it to pick its own orientation here. And that looks like it there. This one looks like the eye of the needle is probably pointed north. Now it looks like it's settled out. That sure looks like the eye of the needle is north on this one. Now let's take the one next to it here. And this one you can see the eye of the needle is pointed south. And another. This one, to me, does not appear to have a magnetic charge in it that would make it orient north or south. It's not wanting to turn the aluminum boat either way. So we have two needles here so far that don't have a magnetic north-south charge. This piece of wire I cut off a fence not far from here, and that fence ran in a north-south direction. The wind's blowing our boat around, but I think you'll see that this one does have a north-south charge. One more time, let's see if it will orient. Yes, there it stopped its rotation. And now it's going back north like it should. And like I said, this is just a piece of wire that came off of a fence not far from here. Any piece of iron that's oriented in a north-south direction long enough will take on a north-south charge. There's a story of a weather vane that got bent in a storm hundreds of years ago. And when it got bent, they took it to the blacksmith, and the blacksmith, as he went to straighten out this bent weather vane, found out it did have a magnetic charge, and that the charge was actually north-south right through the center of the weather vane. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to take these two needles over here that were not charged, and we are going to charge them. So these two needles over here didn't have a charge, and on this magnet up here, if I just touch this to there, I have just made this into a compass needle. Now when we bring this back down here and drop it in, it has a very strong north-south charge. Now just a few seconds ago, that needle did not have a charge at all. That is all there is to charging up a needle and making it a compass. If you are carrying these needles in your medical kit or your bug out bag or something, you may want to charge these up beforehand. Now this time I'm going to touch the pointed needle in to this, would be the south side of this magnet, and we'll charge it up the opposite direction. Now I believe when we put this in here, this one will orient the opposite direction. And it did. If you think of these magnets and the compass, it's exactly like putting batteries together in series. On batteries, we have a positive and a negative and a positive and a negative and a positive and a negative when the batteries are running in series. And a compass needle charges in the same direction. So if I put it to the magnet in this direction, that's the same way it will charge. Now there's something very interesting here I want to show before we close out this video. This magnet, at this moment, this direction is north and this direction is south, right? The same as our compass. The north pole of this magnet is pointing to the north pole of our Earth. Well, if you think about that, that means that in our Earth, the North Pole is actually charged south. So the magnetic charge of the North Pole of the Earth is actually south. Get yourself a T-candle boat, get yourself a couple of pieces of iron, get some kids and a magnet, and go make yourself a compass. You guys have a great day.